What's up, everybody? You're back in here with the Pro Football Pod. You've got Hulk, you've got Coach, you've got Austin. We appreciate your time. Hit that subscribe button down below. Every 500 subscribers, we're giving away a jersey out here. We got the New England Patriots season record prediction coming out here for y'all. Promise as Dolphins fans and, a Cowboys fan, we're not just absolutely hate on your team. I love what the Patriots did this offseason. We're going to go ahead and fly through it a little bit. Will Campbell at offensive tackle in the first round. Travion Henderson, running back out of Ohio State in the second round. Kyle Williams, wide receiver out of Washington State in the third. Jared Wilson, Georgia, center. Craig Woodson, safety, California. Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle, Florida State. Braden Swinson, edge, LSU. I love what they did in the draft. They were able to bring in Milton Williams in the offseason at defensive tackle, Harold Landry at pass rusher, along with some other guys. They had the money to spend. They had a bevy full of draft picks. Mike Vrabel coming in his first season at head coach with this squad. You couldn't have asked for a better setup to come in and just start your regime with this team. I hate that Gerard Mayo didn't get the chance to do that. He was just a one-year stopgap, but it is what it is, I guess.
I guess it was in Bill's contract that whenever he moves on, Jared Mayo gets the spot right away. Like they didn't even have to do a bunch of interviews. I think that if that wasn't the case and they knew that Vrabel was going to be available, he would have had the job last year. Like Gerard Mayo had 1 year to prove that, hey, you're better than this guy that we know can bring this team back to the way we want it to be. And then having Josh McDaniel as well, you've got a defensive, hard-nosed minded head coach with the offensive coordinator that is never going to go anywhere because he fails everywhere that he leaves. You can't have a better situation.
No. And so let's go ahead and just dive right into it. We've got week 1 at home versus Vegas, week 2 on the road versus Miami, week 3 at home versus Pittsburgh, week 4 at home versus Carolina. I've got the Patriots going 2-2 in that stretch, winning week 1 versus Vegas and week 3 versus Pittsburgh.
3-1. I think Pittsburgh isn't going to have the firepower to stop them. I think Miami, they're still going to have some hiccups in the first couple weeks. I think Miami, 1 o'clock, on a Sunday, it's going to be hot. They're not going to be able to handle it. They're going to be like the Bills were a couple years ago. It's going to be 110 in the shade out there. So I think that Miami can pull out that victory, but I think that they're easily better than the other 3 teams.
Yep.
Agree 100%. 3-1.
3-1. All
losing
right.
to Miami.
Hey, go Fins. All right, moving on. Week 5, they're on the road versus Buffalo. Week 6, they're on the road versus the Saints. Week 7, they're on the road versus the Titans. Week 8, they're back home versus the Cleveland Browns. I've got them going 3-1 in that stretch, with their only loss being Sunday Night Football versus the Bills in Buffalo.
Yep, I agree with you 100% on that one. 3-1 again.
The other 3 teams are probably 3 of the worst teams in football right now.
Yep.
Like, easily going to be
Agreed.
the first, second, and third overall pick next year.
And then how many of those games are the spread of the Patriots going to be underdogs?
None. They should be...
Well, Buffalo
except for
Miami.
Through the first 8, yeah. Buffalo and Miami, they'll probably be underdogs. I don't think they'll be underdogs versus Pitt, especially
so
not
that
in
shows that they should win those games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely should. And those are the games, like, if you drop those, like, what are you doing? Moving on, next 4. At home versus Atlanta, on the road versus Tampa Bay, at home versus the New York Jets, on the road versus Cincinnati. I've got them going 2-2 in that stretch, winning at home versus Atlanta, and then at home again versus the Jets. So I've got them losing to Tampa Bay and Cincy.
Precisely.
I think Atlanta can also pull out a victory. I think Atlanta's got a little bit of firepower on the offense, just from a general standpoint. Even though it's in New England, I think that New England might have a hard time if the game gets out of hand coming back. I don't think Drake May's really proven to us that he's the guy that's going to put up 2 scores in the fourth quarter and win the game that way. I think that they win close, hard-fought games, which is why I have them winning everything except for Miami, Buffalo, Atlanta, and Tampa Bay to this point.
Yeah, like and to me, their schedule lines up perfectly for them, except for their bye week, which is coming up in week 14. So, week 13, they're at home versus the New York Giants. Week 15, they're at home versus the Buffalo Bills. Then they go on the road back to back at Baltimore, at the New York Jets, and then they're back at home versus Miami in New England, week 18. I've got them going 3-2 in that stretch, with their only losses being to Buffalo and Baltimore.
Precisely again. Yep.
I wanted to mention I also have them losing to Cincinnati. But then from this stretch, Buffalo, Baltimore, Miami, they're going to drop. I think against really, really hard competition like Cincinnati, Baltimore, they're not going to have enough to be able to keep it close. If they go up a whole lot, or if their run game is able to keep them in it, their defense is able to lock everybody down, then they're going to be great. I just don't know if they're going to have a first year defense, even with all the pieces that had success last year, to stop a team like Cincinnati, Buffalo, Baltimore, or Miami. These are some of the top 10 offenses in the league whenever they're firing on all cylinders. Stopping them is not what their team is built for yet. I think in a couple years, they're going to be disgusting, and everyone needs to watch out for New England. But right now, 9-8 seems very charitable. Like, they have a very good defensive roster. They're very young. Hooper and Henry, love Kyle Williams, love Travion Henderson, and the offensive line pieces they added. But their offensive line is still young and needs to develop. They still need to develop in positions of the most importance.
Yeah, and you'll see those growing pains this year. They just have the benefit of having a really decently easy schedule, especially right there in the meat of the season. So I've got them going 10-7 for the season. Coach, I think you've got them 9-8. Austin, I think you've got them 11-6. So
Precisely.
we're all right there within a couple of games of each other. Patriots fans, tell us how you feel about what your season's looking like. Are you guys on the come up? Is it we're back season? Let us
I'd
know
say
down
so.
there. Subscribe down below so you can get all of our other episodes. We're giving away jerseys out here. Help us, help you. TulsiRoseTea.com is the sponsor. Peace out.
All right, you guys think we could do that just